You might remember a few months ago when we first started this project, I had actually sent off a set of fuel injectors that I decapped to Mr. Eric Durr, and he cleaned them, flowed them, sent them all back. Problem was, there was about a 14% spread in these fuel injector flow rates, so we weren't able to use them. But our buddy John gave us another set of fuel injectors to decap. So we sent those to Eric last week, and I just got them back nice and clean, and you know, he flowed those as well. And I sent him back the original flow sheet from the first set. So he made me one big flow sheet. And as you guys can see, while we weren't able to get within 2%, between all 16 of these injectors, he was able to pick out 8 here that their dynamic flow rate, which honestly I feel is more important anyway, was within 3%. Static flow rate was within 4%. Now you guys always hear people advertise, you know, our injectors are within 2%. That's great. But honestly, 4 or 5% is, you know, pretty much factory standard. If you take a brand new set of fuel injectors, I want to go ahead and correct myself there. The newer engines, the fuel injectors in those are a lot closer in flow rates. But when you're talking about these truck engines and, you know, the older LS engines, you know, LS1s, LS2s, blah, blah, blah. Those fuel injectors, if you clean them and flow them, they're usually 4 or 5%, you know, between the set anyway. So 4% is more than acceptable here, and we now have 8 fuel injectors that are within 4%, and you know, we've got 8 left over that maybe we'll get him to flow some more in the future, and we can make another set. The crappy part is, I just got home, got all excited because I got those fuel injectors, and as you can see, it is pea-pouring rain out there. And I've been making some progress on the garage. There is still not enough room to fit the truck in here to work on it. I got to get that thing sold, guys. That high boost, I can't ride it, neck issues, so we've got to get that sold. I also need to make a wheel rack to get these out of the floor. I've been thinking about making a wheel rack right up here on this wall to put, you know, whatever wheels and tires I'm not using at the time up there. Okay, so I just got off work. It is currently not raining, but it looks like it might rain soon. So I'm going to try to go ahead and get these injectors swapped out. Okay guys, so now that we've got our fuel rail out, I wanted to kind of show you how we were going to address installing these injectors. As you might know from some of my other videos, like the video I actually did on decapping the injectors, once you decap them, tend to flow pretty erratically. Well, we actually decapped a total of 16, and what we ended up with was a set of 8 that flow within 4% of each other. And you know, this is the number on the injector right here, and this is the static flow rate, which is what you use to tune with. So as you can see, we've got 3 injectors that are flowing 78 pounds. We've got 3 injectors that are flowing 76.5 pounds, and we have 2 injectors that are kind of lagging behind, flowing 75 pounds. Now the way we're going to handle this is, some of you may know that LS engines are notorious for running lean on the rear 2 cylinders, on cylinder 7 and cylinder 8. More particularly, they have a bad reputation for going extremely lean on cylinder 7. Usually when you see a melted piston, something of that nature, it's cylinder 7. What we're going to do is we're going to start at the rear of the engine and put the injectors that flow the most at the rear. That way, you know, those last few cylinders are getting more flow than the front cylinders. So we're going to take our 3 78-pound injectors, which are injectors 11, 12, and 4. We're going to put 11 and 12 in, 7 and 8, and then we're going to put number 4 on cylinder 5. Then we're going to take our 76.5-pound injectors and put, work our way up, and finally our 2 75-pound injectors will be in the front 2 cylinders. Okay, that's how we're going to handle that. I've actually got a video that I'm putting up today outlining how to tune these in HP tuners, so I'll put a link to that in the description to this video so you can check that out. Alright guys, so we got our new decapped injectors in. I guess they're really not new. Anyway, I wanted to show you something else I got finished. Well, I wouldn't exactly call it finished, but what I did do is I had this little gauge pod laying around. What I had been doing is I had my wideband just kind of stuck in a cup holder down there. And we didn't really have a boost gauge in here because we didn't need one. But, I had this boost gauge laying around, from back in my Honda days. But anyway, so we got our boost gauge and our wideband in here. This is a temporary thing. I don't plan on leaving this stuff up here, but this dash is cracked up in a few spots, so we're probably going to be replacing it at some point anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is, this gauge pod has where you can put a couple screws in there, so probably just going to screw it down right there for now. I mean, that way it's right in my face. So I figure that's a good place for it. Like I said, check out the video on tuning decapped injectors. If you're worried that you're not going to be able to tune them or it's going to be hard, it's really no different than tuning any other larger injector that you put in. Important thing is that you send them off, have them flowed, know the flow data. Some people just decap these things, throw them in, tune them at 75 pounds or whatever, and run forever. People like me, with the luck I have, I'd burn a piston in about 2 seconds if I didn't have these things flowed. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more. I've got to call John and get a plan together to get my downpipe ran. So that's it for today, and I will see you guys next time on Bad Luck Garage.